Okay, so we want to say welcome to the Miles Television. It is a pleasure having you guys tonight on our show. We are so excited to have you guys tonight for our discussion. Mr. President of the Ottawa Liberian students, how are you doing, sir? Are you hearing me? Oh, he's left the line. Uh, Brother George, how are you doing, sir? How's your end? How's everything with you, sir?
Yeah, I'm fine and I'm doing better. It's just that the winter it gives me some tough time. That's all.
Is this your first year?
No, no, no. I just don't like winter. I spent like 3 years. So
Okay,
next year, April, will make me 4 years in
okay.
India.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's good to hear. That's good to hear.
Yeah,
Welcome so much. It's a pleasure having you tonight on our platform for the discussion tonight. We are so excited to have you, sir.
yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the
Okay, so
invitation.
let me get Brother Wilson. Okay, thank you also. Mr. President, are you getting me now?
Yeah, I'm getting you, but you kind of are very
Hello,
low.
I'm very low.
Yeah, yeah, but I'm getting you. I'm getting
Brother
you.
George, you are getting me very. Okay, okay,
Yeah, I'm
okay,
getting you
okay,
clear. You are loud
okay,
and
okay.
clear from inside.
So, President, you're also getting
Yeah,
me
yeah,
loud
yeah,
and clear. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
So,
I'm getting you
welcome,
now.
President. Welcome to the Master Vision. We are so happy tonight to have you on our show for our discussion. So tell us, how you been spending the time during this winter? How is it with you, sir? Are you getting me?
Is it me?
No, I'm asking the president, Mr. Wisdom. I'm asking you, sir.
Okay.
Hello, are you getting me, sir?
I hope it's not having internet problem or
Wow.
network problem.
I don't know why I said. President, are you getting me? Hello, are you getting me now?
Let me see. Let me try to. Let me see if I can get a better network signal.
Oh yeah, please try to do that because we're finding it difficult to have you tonight. Is that okay with you? Okay, uh, uh, Brother George, I believe our followers will want to know who is this Brother George person. Can you introduce yourself tonight on this platform? We say welcome again. We want to hear your introduction, sir. Can you tell us who is this Brother George person? Yeah, everyone
Hello.
thought, oh, Brother George is coming on the show. Can we hear who is this Brother George person, please?
Just a minute.
Okay. First of all, we are taking Brother George for his introduction while you are setting your internet system. Yeah, Brother George, I'm listening to you.
Okay, so I'm George Chukwujigo. I'm from Africa, Liberia, and
Okay.
yeah, so I'm the first child of my father and mother, and currently I'm studying my MBA at the REM University in Punjab.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool, Brother George. It's a good time having you. So you just hear Brother George. He's a Liberian and he presently studying at a university there in Punjab. We say thank you so much for coming. President, are you okay now? Oh, I don't know why is the problem tonight. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, yeah. Are you okay now, Prezo? We are not hearing you.
Hello?
Yeah, we are getting you now. Are you okay now?
Maybe you
Are you
can
hearing
restart
me?
this. Maybe you can restart to know, it will help.
So we should restart, right?
He should restart his phone. The guy be having some
Yeah,
internet
yeah. I
problem.
think
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. So tonight, followers wherever you are, there, you can also like and then ask your necessary question tonight as we are about to have our guest, student department, that will be speaking to us tonight on our topic. So we are going to start business. Well, when our guest is getting ready, sir, we are just waiting on your minute, sir. We want to start. Brother Wisdom.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Are are you getting me now?
Yeah, we are getting you. Are you also getting me?
Yeah, I'm getting you now. I'm sorry, my line has been
Okay.
bad. Don't really know why.
Okay. It's, okay. I think that's the network, but I think it's a little bit okay, right?
Okay, it's okay. Whoa.
I think you are okay now. Hello. So, so, Brother George, what he's setting because time is fast spent. Let's go straight into our discussion tonight. We want to talk on topic Africa resource and its benefit for sustainable growth and development tonight. So, we want to hear your introduction tonight. We look at Africa being a country that is very rich when it comes to resource and other things. But then when you look at on the world market today, you see one of the poorest continent ever is Africa, with all of those resources we have in our continent today, right? We are one of those people that is really suffering. We have to depend on other continents for support. So, sir, we want to hear your introduction tonight on that topic. So, we are listening to hear from you, sir.
Okay, so thanks for having me, and it's an honor actually to present on this topic. It's very important for our listening, and it's also important for Africans, to know much about their resources, how they have been used, illegally and legally. Like you just said, when you do your research, you also say that Africa is one of the poorest continents in the world. With all of the resources we have, but then we are still poor. So that's something we have to look at, something our leaders look at in order that can be able to, these resources for the benefit of our future generation. So African resources and its benefits, sustainable growth for development, these are things that we have to talk about the benefits of the resources, how we can sustain them, and how we can make it useful and bring development to our continent in Africa. So these are a few things I want to talk about: the importance, the benefits, in our plumbers.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Brother Winston, are you okay now? You getting us, sir? Hello, Brother Winston, are you getting us, sir?
I mean, I have a
Are
bad
you
never
hearing me?
problem.
Yeah, I don't know why his network is like that
So,
tonight.
like the only
Are
thing
you
that will help
getting
me
me,
right
sir?
now, he have to switch his phone off, or restart it.
So can you, Brother Wisdom, can you go off and come back on? Can you go off and then come back on? Because we are not getting you. Follower, if you just listen to
Send
Brother
me the message in the chat
George,
box. Yeah, coming broken.
can you go off and come? Can you just leave the line and come back on?
Oh,
So tonight, you are just listening. Are you getting our Brother Wisdom? Just off. You can leave the line and come back on. Just leave the line and come back on. You can leave and come back. So you just listen to our brother who is here tonight to give us a lot of clarities on our resource. You know, when you look at Africa today, we are suffering like he just said, and I said the same thing, right? We are one of the poorest continent ever, right? Resources we have, we suffer a lot. If people, those European Union, let's say those other continents, America, Asia, what people cannot help us with all those resources we have, we are nowhere to be found. We just want, I don't know, every time we just want it from people, we just want to be begging, we just want to be begging. But tonight we brought we called in our expertise to tell us tonight on how we can manage those resources we have and how we can build our continent to be one of the great ones. So, sir, we are listening tonight to you.
Okay, so thank you. Firstly, I will talk about our continent, Africa, and not only for our hearing, but other people who have not been to Africa, especially for where we find ourselves in India. There are some Indians sometimes, when you are going around having your normal activities, they ask, "Where are you from?" And they said, when we tell them I'm from Ghana, it's a country. So sometimes sometimes they do ask these questions. So for to clear the doubt, Africa is not a country, it's a continent, and Africa is one of the second largest continent in the entire world. So Africa is very big, and where Africa is situated on the map, when you look at the map, you would look at Africa is surrounded by the Mediterranean Sea. It's also surrounded by the Indian Ocean. It's also surrounded by the Red Sea. It's also surrounded by the Atlantic Ocean. So when you look at where Africa is, it also tells you that yes, Africa is located. The idea is rich, but also we are poor because the idea is not there. In order to manage, in order to use those resources, the idea is not there, and there are a lot of illegal activities that is growing in Africa, and you find out that our resources are being taken from Africa to other countries without even our people benefiting. So these are things we have to talk about tonight, like I said, and gradually, bit by bit, I'll go through it. So, like we said, Africa is now a country, it's a continent, and Africa has 54 countries. The continent Africa have 54 countries, and these countries have different languages and different cultural, background. So, like in every country or in every society, there are people, they have different way of life. So their culture, their way of life should be respected, and especially for Africa. So you look at Africa, there are other countries speak Arabic, like you look at Egypt, you look at Libya, these countries speak Arabic. They have other countries in Africa also speak Spanish. You also have other countries in Africa also speak French. But the estimated, numbers of African countries is 24. Most of them, speak English, even though they have their local languages. But the general language among all, they speak English. So Africa is a very big continent. Like I said, second largest continent in the entire world. So another thing that we should also look at Africa. Why is Africa known for? Africa is known for their resources. Like personally, people will have different definitions when it comes to Africa. But for me, I see Africa as a safe house, a house for rescue, a house for redemption, a house that people benefit from. Like when I talk about safe house, you find that Africa is almost like a breadwinner to majority of the countries around the world. But then we are still poor in Africa. So I would try to give few information when it comes to why Africa is known for. So when we talk about Africa, 30% of the world preserved mineral. 30% of the world preserved mineral is from Africa. Can you imagine 30% of the entire world mineral is from Africa? That alone is a huge, resources that's from Africa. Another thing that we have to look at is of gas. 8% of the world natural gas is also from Africa. We also have 4% of oil of the world, reserve oil is also from Africa. We also have 40% of the world gold also from Africa. So all of the gold that you find, sometimes you find gold chains, most of the things are from the gold from Africa. That's where people go take these things and they get out. And another thing we have to look at, is 90% of the plutonium and the communion, 90% are from Africa also. So you found that large portion or large percentage of these minerals are found in Africa. So another thing we also have to look at, 65% of the world arable land and 10% of the planet internal renewable fresh water is also from Africa. So the world arable land is where that is in Africa, where we use to plant crops, agriculture, to do, talk about agriculture. We talk about arable land also. We also talk about fresh water. In Africa, 10% of the world, 10% is also found from Africa. So it tells you that in everything, Africa has the most valuable mineral or resources in that continent. That there are countries that is in Africa, when they try to use, strategize how to use these resources, it will help, benefit or boost the economy in Africa. But a lot of things we're going to talk about, about those resources, how they are being used, and what are some of the percentage that the country can benefit or Africa is benefiting, and some illegal activities, those percentage that have been carrying on, in a period of time. We're also going to talk about it. So when you look at the resources in Africa, the total amount of percentage that people give account to, that Africa gave account to, that yes, we are doing this, we are doing this, we are doing this, this is the account. is 30% to 50% of the natural resources, capital account that Africa can give, account to the CS. This is what we know about. And when you look at all of the resources that we talk about, even though we'll talk about more, you find that the 30% or 50% is not even sufficient. It's not even sufficient. And because of that, it causing a lot of poverty, unemployment rate, and a lot of things that we are experiencing in Africa, which of course we have to do something about it. Even our leaders have to do something about it. And those countries that is around the sub-Saharan, Africa, they also depend on forest. They also depend on, woodland for their daily life, daily activities. These are things they have to look at. And in Africa, a lot of people living on some of these things, some of the resources. So we have to have a look at it. So another thing that we have to look at the illegal activities that is happening in Africa. You found that the mining, the minerals that are taken from Africa, that even our citizens or citizens of different countries don't even know about. Even the government do not even know about. When those minerals are taken from Africa, and they said, I did my research. They said the estimated amount annually in a year is 1,195 billion United States dollars. That every year those illegal activities that's going on in Africa, when the estimated amount is 195 billion. Can you imagine? This money they have been taken from, this resources have been taken from Africa without even sometimes it's uncovered. Some of our government officials or government leaders, that's in Africa, they connect with the people, they take mineral from there and they use it for their personal gain. It's actually affecting Africa. That's why people always say, yeah, Africa, poor Africa. With all of the resources we have, we are still poor. And it's affecting us, it's affecting us, our economic, it's affecting us. That's why you find most people leaving the country or leaving Africa as a whole, going outside to stay for the longest. So some of the resources that we're going to talk about, and I'm going to name some of them, like we talk about the mineral, Africa, we have mineral. So on a mineral, we have cobalt. And it said, in my research I did, and that's something I've been looking at since, I've been doing this research. They talk about cobalt is the world's largest reserve, in Africa. And something that we're going to talk about in the world cobalt, cobalt is mostly like 60% of the world cobalt comes from DR Congo. So in DR Congo is in Africa. So 60% of the cobalt come from that particular country. And I tried doing further research, how these people find, this mineral. You find that almost all of the citizens, especially for the poor ones, at the age of 4 years, they send them on the field to look for this particular mineral. At the age of 4 years. And you find that they are benefiting, the world is benefiting from this, from this country. And when you look at this country, this cobalt is actually they actually use. You can use it for microphone. You can use it to fix microphone. You can use it to fix magnet. You also use it to fix mobile phones. You also use it to fix other things that that is needed. And also right now is more comes to modern technology. It's most important when it comes to modern technology. So you found that 60% of this mineral coming from in a specific country called DR Congo. So that's how it is it. And also we also have the diamond. We all know about diamond. The world has a larger reserve. Africa also have the world larger reserve diamond in Africa. We have copper, also the world largest, copper is also from Africa. We also have the plutonium, also from Africa, the world largest also. So these are minerals that you can look at that comes from Africa. And you find that those countries that's coming into our continent, taking this mineral from there, they are making good use of it, and also it helping to boost their economy, and also helping to even reduce the unemployment rate of your homes in your country. But in Africa, the unemployment rate is very high. So if people come into our country taking this mineral from there and taking it outside to benefit them, for their daily needs, then what about our own people that we can use the same mineral, invest it in our country, and make sure we live there? Sometimes, yeah, we can also give out, but those money that are coming in, those can also help benefit our people. So another thing we can talk about is the oil, natural gas. We talk about oil, even Nigeria, give oil. In other countries around, in Africa, also produce oil, and 12% of the world oil reserve also come from Africa. 8% of the world natural gas also comes from Africa, like we said in our previous day. So the arable land, also 65% of the world arable land, the entire world, is also from Africa. So you find that in Africa we have when it comes to our soil are more fertile. Yeah, whatever we plant into it, it grows. So with the surrounding or the location of Africa, you also, Africa is just surrounded by water, and that alone, help our soil to be more, fertile when it comes to agriculture. So we also talk about fish, fresh water. So 10% of the world natural fresh water is from Africa. We also talk about the tropical rainforest and crops. These are minerals, or these are resources, that's from Africa, and almost the entire world is benefiting from Africa when it comes to our resources. So with all of these resources that we don't talk about and that I just spoke about, if our people who are in Africa using these resources, managing it well, I don't think people will be calling our continent, one of the poorest. We have everything, almost like you have your food before you, and you are hungry, but then you don't know how to use your spoon to eat. You don't know how to eat. So somebody they say, take your spoon, take your hand, put it in the spoon, and put it in your mouth. So we have this thing, we are sitting on it, but we don't know how to use it. So the most important thing that we're going to talk about, the benefit for sustainable growth and development. So these are things that we have to look at. I have about 7 points. It's actually more, but I will discuss 7 tonight. And also I will also talk about the importance, So some benefit that these resources that we just talked about, we can be able to manage. We can be able to make good use of it, to protect it, to protect them for our future generation, even for our people in Africa. So we talk about one benefit is about the infrastructure development. So when we after these resources are being managed well, and all of the income, whatever money that will be generated, both in and out, those money should be used to develop the country. When it comes to roads, when it comes to building airports, fuel ports, that will help also to boost the economy of that country, even in Africa as a whole, because we are discussing Africa. We also talk about the energy. So we have power plant, we have transmission, distribution of of natural resources. So if the infrastructure development, all of these resources are managed well, you find that there will be development in Africa as a whole. There will be development in Africa as a whole. Another thing we have to look at is economic diversification. We also have to look at it is we don't want to only look at a specific industry, only doing business in Africa, but we also want to leave it open, that we asking other investors to come in, other organizations to come in, other industrial companies to come in, to help help manage our resources, so that it will also help to boost the economy. So, for example, if we don't manage these things well, there will be no positive result of the economy. You find that there will be a lot of crisis in the entire continent in Africa. So it's important that you open corridor. It also helps balance the economy in Africa. Another thing we have to look at, the third point we have to look at is job creation. So sustainable, the benefit of sustainable, development in Africa, the continent, it also provides, job creation. If our minerals are managed well, it provides job creation, and the unemployment rate will actually reduce. You find that people will work and will be able to get their daily needs, not only for them, but also for their family. And also, when you're having a job creation, it also help, to boost the economy in the country. So some benefit of these job creation, it also reduce unemployment and poverty, rate. It also increase the economic growth and stability. And it also develops skills, and human capital. So the more there is job in Africa, there is more, the human alone, we have different kind of skills. It also helps them a lot. So another one we can look at is number 4. We talk about the poverty reduction. Poverty reduction. So with all of the resources we have currently in Africa, when you go in Africa, especially let's say Liberia now, with all of the resources we have in Liberia, the unemployment rate is very high, very, very high. So if our leaders in Liberia would be, able to manage to utilize those, our resources, poverty rate will reduce. They're gonna reduce. So when you look at Africa, you say, oh, Africa is one of the poorest country, poorest continent, I mean, in the world. So these are some of the things we're talking about: lack of wisdom, lack of strategies, lack of partnership. So it creates poverty. If we are not using our resources, the proper way. But if Africa intend to use their resources the proper way and be able to manage it for the future generation, you found that poverty rate will reduce. It will actually reduce. It will also actually help to promote economics, even the social well-being. So these are things that Africa have to look at. We also talk about number 5 point. We also talk about the environmental conservation. So all of our minerals we have in Africa, they have to be protected. They have to be well preserved. That nobody will just come in Africa and just have illegal activities like doing illegal mining, taking our resources from there without even the government knowing or without even the citizens knowing, and just taking it out of our country or our continent, using it for their own gain. So if our resources would be managed well, it also create that means for everyone in Africa to benefit from our resources. Even our future generation are also going to benefit. But if we are not managing well, it will also affect us. So another thing thing we have to look at, which is number 6, we talk about food security. So we prefer to talk about the we talk about the arable land. So arable land are used to have a crops agriculture activities. So if we are taking good care of agriculture, improving our agriculture productivities, reducing hunger, you find out that our people in Africa will not suffer. They will have food to eat. They will even the hunger rate will also reduce, because what? We are using our resources in a rightful way that all Africans will be able to benefit. So it also help to bring the economic growth in our country. It also helps every country. And the second point we have to look at is the climate change or mitigation. So we have the renewable energy, which is forestation, and we also talk about the global. There are some benefits we have to look at. When it comes to the climate change or mitigation, there are some benefits we have to look at, which is the slow global warming. It talk about reducing air pollutions. It also talk about creating job and cleaning, increasing energy. So the winds, sometimes like our climate changes, and we have like when you are doing some industrial work, you also have to look at the pollution, like air pollution. These are things we have to take care of. We have to take care of these things in order that will be able to give us our good health being our people to live healthy in Africa as well. These are some benefits that will be able to that Africa can be able to to look at and also develop their country. So some will ask, what are some of the importance sustainable, what is the sustainable development, why it's so important that we also have to look at. We also it's important because it creates environmental stewardship. So with all of our resources we have, you like, for example, like in Africa, you talk about the renewable resource and non-renewable resource. So when you look at the renewable resources, you talk about water, forestry, even fisheries, and non-renewable resources also talk about the mineral, gas, coal, and oil. So for the renewable resource, you can be able to manage it, you be able to renew Like for example, when we talk about the fish, even the forest, there are things you can to manage. You even grow your forest. But when it comes to our real mirror, if the mirror just we are not managing it, and people just keep it away, taking it away, taking it away. We don't have that, that idea or that, ability to renew those resources because it cannot be renewed. So these are things we have to look at carefully. So when we talk about environmental, stewardship, it has to be managed well. Our resources have to be managed well in order our future, our citizens, the people from Africa will be able to benefit from that. Another important point is the economic growth. As we all know, with all of the resources we have, if we manage them well, it also creates, it also boosts the economy in Africa. It also boosts the economy in Africa. So there are some importance, We also have to look at the social equity. So social equity that everybody in Africa, all Africans have the right. All Africans have the right to know how that mineral have been used, the activities in and outside of the country. They have the full right to know. It's not something that we have to hide from them. So if, for example, like say in Liberia, you find a company going in, let's say Kima, and they want to do a mining there, they want to take some mineral from there. Those citizens in that country or in that county have to benefit. That's something we should be hiding from them. So everyone in Africa have the full right, the full responsibility to have access. Excuse me, one minute. Sorry, I was having some noise from that. So everyone in Africa, should be having that right, that access when it comes to their resources. So everyone have the right. So even our leaders have to respect their citizens in various countries in Africa. So that's number that's one of the things we have to look at. And also we also have to look at the health and well-being, of our people. So we have to look at the air, we have to look at the safe drinking water, even the economic prosperity. These are the health well-being. These are things we have to look at. And the population is in economic prosperity. So another thing we also have to look at is the long-term thinking. So in sustainable development, it encourages long-term thinking. It's not just to think about now. You have to think about the future, because like we look around ourselves now, every time things are changing. So we have to look at the future, in order to be able to manage, to use the resources from Africa. So another thing we have to look at is the environment protection. So when we talk about environment protection, we talk about the safeguarding, of the environment, the recycling, the preserving of energy, these are things we have to protect our resources in Africa. So in conclusion, we are able to sustain the growth and the development, of our resources. It helps, brighten the future of Africa. It helps, reduce the poor employment rate. It also gives, it also boosts the morale of Africa. That even, people around the world will look at Africa and say, yes, that country is not only, they don't only have resources, but it's also rich. The people within its, in a country or in Africa, they also have, access to their resources. So these are things, we have to look at as Africa, African country, even as a continent. We are known that we have a lot of resources, you know, and every resources or every mineral that we name, Africa have the highest. So we are still not managing them. So thank you for the time, and we'll stop here. And maybe any question that you want to ask. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Brother George. Thank you so much for that great presentation. Yeah, there are a lot of things. I believe we are following a lot of things. Our brother just stated on our resources in Africa, and I believe there are a lot of things we have learned. And if you have any question, you can then put your question within the comment section as we then take our next guest. Brother Wisdom, how are you doing, sir? I don't know what's the problem. What's the problem? So if you are watching us, we await your question for our guest. Uh, Tonight we await your question. So let's take Brother Wisdom. How are you doing, sir? Are you getting us now?
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Maya. I'm good. I'm good. I'm getting it now.
Okay. What happened? You been just in and out, in and out. What's the problem?
Yeah, my sincere apology to the audience and to you and also my colleague on the show tonight. It's quite unfortunate that difficulties I'm experiencing from network connectivity. Are you getting me?
We are getting you. Yes, we are getting you, sure. We are getting you. Are you hearing us?
Excuse me.
Are you hearing us, sir? We don't really know what is happening with our guests tonight. We don't know what is really happening. I think the network seems to be very bad at his side. Uh, Hello, sir. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. The thing is that it is so unfortunate that what is happening right now. I don't know why it has not been the usual way. Network connectivity have been here correctly and smooth. The Wi-Fi here is strong, and I always have data on my own, and they are all here. But tonight, I'm experiencing the unexpected to experience network breakthrough here that I'm finding difficult to get connected because of inadequate connection. But however,
We are listening to you, sir.
I'll get trying to schedule me for now.
We are listening to you. Are you there? So it's like our guest is facing a lot of difficulty when it comes to internet connection tonight. Brother George, you said thank you so much for that
Um,
great presentation tonight. Yeah, so we are still getting it difficult to get our guests. I don't know.
Understood?
To see.
Not clear also.
Are you getting me now?
Hello.
Yeah, are you getting me?
Yeah. I'm getting. Are you also getting me?
Yes, yes, I'm getting you very clear. I
Oh.
don't know. Yes, I'm getting you.
Yeah. 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 Uh. So, like I was saying, my sincere apology to our followers and uh, my co-guests, and also to has not been the experience we have been having here. We have double connection here. We have active school Wi-Fi, and so I have my internet connection here. But it's highly unexpected today to see that I'm facing network issue. But how be it? I hope I'm clear.
Yes, yes, yes.
Are you getting me?
Yes, you are clear. I'm getting you very well. Just, I don't know what is happening tonight. Brother George, are you getting me, sir? Hello, Brother George. Are you getting me? It seems like our guests are facing a lot of challenges tonight on their network, but we hope to bring them back tonight. We are here waiting for those necessary questions. We are here tonight waiting for those questions. It is not easy tonight. We hope to get our a little bit difficult with the network. Hello, Brother George. Are you there, sir? Hello, Brother George. What? We don't know what is happening today. We don't know what is happening today. Brother George, are you there, sir? Hello? Yes, yes. I'm getting it very clear. I said I was getting it very clear. What is the problem? Mhm. Okay, yeah. So, so we were asking you a question. Uh, how you been doing this school season? How is it with you, sir? Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Happy to hear that from you. So, like we were saying, people will want to know who is this brother Wisdom that we brought. Can you just tell a little bit about yourself, sir? Okay, that's good. Thank you. Happy to hear that from you. We just got the presentation from our guest, brother George. I think he's also trying to get reconnected. We also want to hear tonight from you, brother Winston. Tonight we have a discussion that you also know about. We want to hear from you tonight on the topic about Africa resource for sustainable growth and development. So, what do you have to say to us tonight in the next 5 to 6 minutes? Can you say something to us because we are running out of time? We should be having our next guest in the next few minutes, so we are running out of time. We also want to hear from you, sir. Yes, I'm there. I'm there. You can go ahead. We are listening to you. Just go ahead, sir. We are getting you very clear. Getting you very clear, sir. We are getting you very clear. thank you so much, Brother Winston. We want to say thank you. We appreciate your appearance on our show tonight. Due to time, we wanted to take a lot of questions, but guests uh, that are already here, we told them like they should be appearing by 10:30. We wanted to end this show by 10:30, and then we start with our next guest. So we say thank you so much for the presentation. We say thank you to Brother George. We were reaching. I think you also has a same network, but what we are planning to do, we hope that it works. This is we are going to host you guys again in the month of January. At least we are going to call you guys on as we continue the show to learn more about our resources in Africa. Because a lot of us today, our countries, you almost a lot of poverty rate there. We have all those resources, but things are not working for our citizens. What it is, and sometimes we look at our government system. We understand that there are a lot of fraud. Our people are so corrupt to the extent that they could not with a lot of all of our continent's members to take in our resources, and at the end of the day, our people back home suffer. But tonight we appreciate you guys so much for highlighting us. We will give you another invitation again to appear on our show for a deep explanation on this topic. So we want to say thank you so much for joining us tonight. So before we want to take at least 2 minutes of your time for your parking statement tonight on the show. Can we start with you, Brother George? Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Brother George. It was a nice time have show tonight, and there are a lot of things that I myself learned about our resources back home. So thank you so much. Can we hear from you, Brother Wisdom? 2 minutes of the parking statement.